Yeah, hello and welcome to this video. Round 6. No, again, I'm making this mistake. It's game 6 of the World Championship match between challenger Sergei Karjakin from Russia and Norwegian World Champion Magnus Carlsen. Yeah, we had very epic struggles. Yeah, game 3, 4, 5. And as you already see from the video length of this round 6, that wasn't as epic as the games before. Quite understandable. You cannot play like 100 moves every day. Let's see what happened in this game. So the challenger plays e4 again. I'm surprised that he keeps doing that. I mean, unless he has the strategy of like playing playing for a draw with white is a little bit harsh, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens in this game. We have a Rui again, and we repeat the opening line of game 4. So Carlsen is basically signaling his intention to play a marshal. We don't actually know if he would play it. I mean, he has played this before, but didn't fare all that well with it, to be honest. It is perfectly possible that he would just go d6 and play a mainline Breyer, possibly the Breyer. It's what he usually does if he goes for the absolute main line here. Certainly possible, we don't know, because Karjakin plays h3. So in a way, maybe this is a big bluff and he's not actually intending to play the marshal. So we have again this line, bishop b7, d3, and here in game 4 Carlsen had played d6, leading to a typical closed position. Yeah, we had a3, queen d7, if I remember correctly. And we had this maneuvering game where Karjakin went wrong and later played that weird bishop takes c4 capture. It was that game that you probably will remember if you have seen the whole match. So this time, Carlsen goes d5, not d6. This is the most principled move there. Going for pawn sacrifice anyway. Yeah, white has prevented the marshal, but black sacrifices anyway. So why is that a sacrifice? Takes, takes, takes. White can grab e5. And this is what happened in the game. So the world champion has given up a big center pawn. Yeah, what is black's point of the sacrifice? He actually here has two quite decent options, and at least from what I learned when looking now to prepare for this video, it is theoretically not quite established if black should play knight to d4 or capture on e5. Those two moves come into consideration. After the capture, black is usually continuing with moves like queen to d6. It's a situation where black's compensation is consisting, quite often this is coming next by the way, is consisting in space advantage. He's got more space in the center and on the queen side, and of course the development. Yeah, we see that white has a couple of pieces still on their starting squares, while black is after a future rook move or rook d8 and rook e8. It's not quite clear what's best. In any case, black retains very good compensation here. The alternative here is to play what Carlsen did actually. He played knight to d4. So basically avoiding the trade in the middle and looking at this bishop. This is a little bit of a different approach. Here black also has some central advantages, but he gets the bishop pair on top. Yeah, those knight moves in a row, they basically trade off development for long-term asset, the bishop pair. So here, after knight c3, this is not the only move, but it is the most frequently played move. Carlsen played knight to b4. Yeah, making some pressure here. Those knights are quite annoying. Bishop f4. Now he took it and played c5. So we are on move 14 here, and this is, according to my database, this is a novelty. I don't have those correspondence databases and fancy stuff, so it might be a known move in some circles. Both sides have played rather quickly. Yeah, Karjakin not spending any time. The question, however, has to be asked: what exactly is what exactly was his intention here in this position? It is actually a very comfortable position for black. Yeah, with the bishop pair, the compensation is very nice. And what we should never underestimate is black's potential to, if we just look at having enough for the pawn, black's potential to sometimes just trade down to opposite colored bishops. Yeah, if this bishop is going to be traded for a knight, and this is very easy to accomplish, most likely because the knights, they simply cannot run away from the bishop and they don't want to. Then this is quite often a drawing a weapon, yeah, just to go to the opposite colored bishops. This is not something that black has to do quickly. It's just an option that helps him to have enough compensation here. So what would you expect here? That Karjakin has some idea up his sleeve, but he actually played after like 10 minutes knight e4. And this is extremely unimpressive. The question is, however, can he do something else? I mean, actually, he shouldn't think here. He should have his prep going. And there was huge speculation before the match what kind of fantastic preparation he must have, being supported by the whole Russian, let's say, chess elite. But somehow we don't get this feeling during the match that there is something, or it was completely, I don't know, it doesn't hit in some way, because Carlsen is winning every opening duel. I mean, every single one. In every game, he was the one to get a new move in or get the initiative in a way psychologically, because Karjakin is the first to take a long think. So this is really surprising and was certainly not to be anticipated. One thing that basically everybody said is that Karjakin's main chance could be to catch Magnus in the opening, and no way, yeah, there's absolutely nothing happening in that regard. So knight e4, what did Magnus play? It's not exactly difficult, yeah. He played f6, the knight is attacked, has only the square to go to f3, now f5, yeah, attacking the second knight. And yeah, with the next move, Karjakin is basically saying, okay, let's make a draw. Yeah, I mean, at least there is a almost forcing drawing a path after the move. He could have played this move to avoid what happened in the game. I mean, black is perfectly fine. He can just play normal moves, let's say rook e8. I mean, note that he has good central control. The knight is very strong. White can never easily play c3 as d3 is hanging. So the knight on b4 is constantly pressurizing the c2 pawn and cannot be expelled easily. And black is very comfortable. So this is a position where, yeah, I mean, there is little incentive to go for it. Unless, I mean, this is possible, of course, that for this game, Karjakin team said, okay, we will be very safe and let's just make a draw. Possible. But just from pure chess perspective, this promises very, very little. Yeah, he went to g5, as I said, and here Carlsen now has an easy task. Okay, he has to hack this knight. Knight takes, yeah, bishop takes. It's very unimpressive due to bishop takes f3, yeah, and black is very fine. So the knight had to capture, and at first it looks a little bit dangerous here, but in fact black actually encourages this action. Yeah, the thing is that knight f3, just to show the alternatives, is no good due to the capture again. Yeah, the issue is really always that the queen is tied to the defense of that pawn. Yeah, we have a big fork here. So g takes and then queen h4. This is no good. Black is just better here. So what Karjakin had to go queen e6. There's just no other move. And now queen d5, simultaneously threatening mate, having a look at the knight. You know, f3 only move. Rook e8. Yeah, and now let's have a look at this. What is white supposed to play now? The knight is hanging on e6. Note that Carlsen has spent like a couple of minutes, so he's very likely still in his preparation, as it should be. Yeah, we're just on move 20 in a heavily analyzed line. So, okay, The knight is attacked. If you go here,
check.
black has this check available and is not in any way puzzled here or upset about this proceeding. It actually should end in a draw. There's some funny line here, like can put this on the board, and black is getting his revenge here in a way.
Check.
Yeah, this is a funny line leading to perpetual. Yeah, black is a piece up, but white is threatening all kinds of draws here, and black cannot avoid that, funny enough. Yeah, so in the game, that was not played. Karjakin played rook e5, attacking the queen, which went back to d6. And it looks a little bit weird, yeah, a little bit shaky here in a way, but there is very little that white can do. Here, with Karjakin's choice, he plays 22, move 22, c3. After that, it is basically dead. Alternatively, he could have played rook to e2, continuing the game, but after queen d7, knight c7, rook e2, queen e2, and rook c8, it also seems that black is perfectly fine. Something like rook e1 now, for example, can be answered by the check.
Check.
Queen here, knight c2. Yeah, it's a longish line, but ultimately also not leading to all that much. Here after knight c2, what's my line there? Takes, and rook to e7. White is active here, of course, but something like that is quite easily becoming something totally dead like this, where you probably we'll see a draw, even if the side pawn down is just a much weaker player, because you will get an impregnable fortress anyway. Yeah, so this was a little bit more interesting in a way. c3 was played, and here black now basically is forced to take on e6 for this mentioned completely sterile position. There is also no alternative here. If black goes back, then he actually has to play a pawn down for nothing tangible. So he had to do this, and I mean with black, Carlsen is okay with the draw here in this situation. Taken the knight now, and here if we do a count, it's 6 pawns each. The only little idea that white might have here is like d4, bishop e5, and like vaguely trying to do something on g7, but this is almost always going to be defended. We have opposite colored bishops here, which with queens on the board and a little bit of firepower can actually be dynamic and an attacking weapon. But here we have so much traded already that it is hard to imagine that white would get anything here. Like bishop, pawn to d4, bishop e5, rook to c7, those kind of things could work. But it's just a matter of time. I mean, black is just quick enough here, and we get this exchanged as well. Yeah, Carlsen is advancing on the queen side, and there we have some trades actually. And here after bishop e6, draw agreed. It's good that they agreed here and didn't have to play on pointlessly. This is really making no sense. Here black just draws with very easy play. You just put the queen somewhere here on a light square and just stay put. Nothing happens. The only thing imaginable is like bishop here, and black overlooks a mate on g7, and that's not happening in a world championship match. So this is probably the least interesting game of the whole bunch, of the whole match. It is in some way interesting in that Karjakin here is not objecting to make a basically non-game draw. I still wonder, does he really feel like playing for a draw here with white is the right strategy? Because that cannot be the preparation. I mean, what kind of preparation is that? If you, this position is so easy to play. I mean, You don't need to be Magnus Carlsen here with black to make a draw from here. So it's really easy to do. So a little bit mysterious, On the other hand, okay, as I said, it might be the strategy here in context of the long games before and so on. You never know. You don't have all the information available. Yeah. I mean, there are things that we simply are unaware of. Yeah? I can a current example from my own practice. I had a game a couple of days ago where I caught some stomach bug the night before the game, and I can assure you, I did not want to play chess whatsoever. I mean, really, this was the right time for a quick draw, which didn't happen. I played anyway, but in the context of an important match, if you really feel completely rotten for some reason, it is not a bad idea to play a non-game and just basically delay the fight. So we never know the context there. However, in terms of preparation, Carlsen looks very well prepared. He's in absolutely no trouble whatsoever out of the opening. And yeah, we can look forward to the next game, which will be on Sunday the 20th. So that will be again a Karjakin white game. And I mean, okay, it's not a big surprise if I say that, but I'm pretty sure he will try harder than this one. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.